You are watching the CCA podcast. I am your boy Q France. We are back again with another interview with another living legend, the man himself. The accolades are off the charts. Yeah. We talking about Beast, Lord Vital himself. Shout out, say what's up to the people, man.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody?
Yeah. As always, the podcast is sponsored by Pushing Weight. And my boy John McLeod in the background making everything look nice and pretty for everyone. And we're going to jump right into it. First of all, I told you I had a surprise for you, so here's a surprise. Yeah. You already know.
Yeah, real results, mastering yourself. Don't worry about everybody else.
That's right.
What you do is yours. Earn it and keep it.
Now, needless to say, you've done many podcasts, many interviews, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's heard the origin story. When you started off, you were like about 12 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, and you jump right into it. So we're going to skip a little bit of it. We need you to talk about that EIB, first and foremost. Where did it originate? What gave you the concept? And we're going to embellish on that, but what made you say everything is beast mode?
Well, when I first started it, it was just Team Beast Mode. One of the first shirts that I ever created, it was just Team Beast Mode. That had the freaking the lion claw ripping the shirt. That had the original Beast Mode logo, which was the yellow, red, like it was a dope logo I had. And I noticed that as members started joining, you would get people that be around it that used to work out with us, and then things happen, life happens, so you get put in a situation where you had somebody that used to be working out with you every day, now they no longer can. So mentally they start feeling as if they're no longer beasts in their own right because they can't perform the same way that they used to. So I'm like, so what are you trying to tell me, that you are no longer a beast because you couldn't do a pull-up? Like, nah, you take whatever you learn and you apply that to everything. So I started looking past just fitness. So that's where the whole phrase everything is beast mode, because like I said, I have a sister-in-law that's a chef. I have a friend that's a producer. My boy Armstrong, he does videography. So like everything is beast mode. You just a beast at whatever you do. And you apply that to whatever your main focus is.
I got that, but I know for sure it hit me. It hit me when I realized how much it pertained to the calisthenic world. Because a lot of the moves, like I said, the first move I saw was like when Giant did the touch the toes. And I was like, okay, I can go to the park. And I did that. But the elevator, because we just had Tech on here, and he said the same thing I'm saying now. When he saw the elevator, that made you want to wake up right then and there and go to the park and step your game up.
Yeah.
And you did that just on the whim, just like, yo, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah. Like it was more like how the predator, when the predator goes to any jungle, he don't just go up in there and start doing things. You gotta scan the premises. You gotta scan everything. So I walk up in parks like, oh snap, let me see. What if I did? And it goes from there. So just seeing a bar that you can grab and then another bar above you is automatically gonna make you want to go up there. Right. That's just me. It's the same as a gorilla. You want to go up to the top of the tree so you can see everything from the you can see everything at the bottom.
I hear that. And one of the things that I've seen you do numerous times, right? All these videos that people see, all these little clips, especially when there's other people around, it's usually in the middle of a contest or meetup or something like that, and you always have that one thing that you did that just like throws everything else that everybody else did out the window. Like you the shutdown king. Like you the shutdown king. Like when he shows up, get your camera ready, save the battery because you about to do something spectacular.
And that's what actually kept me focused in the game, because I knew every year is going to be some event. What impression I can leave to make people like, oh, that was crazy. Yo, you remember that? Every move. And what I did, I taught it to all my members. I taught it to everybody. So everything that I've ever did, I always taught to everybody else. So by doing that, that made me want to do something even more crazy in case they tried it. So I always kept 1 or 2 in the stash just in case. Like the one-arm headbangers. Like I've been doing those, but everybody else was seeing like, nah, man, that's great. That's too hard. So, and it was the funny thing about when I first did the one-arm headbangers at Matrix event, I was never intended to do it. I went to the bathroom. And it felt like they all waited till I left to want to start everybody jumping on the ball doing freestyle. So I'm sitting there like, oh, they trying to play me. Oh, they gonna wait till I leave. That's why as soon as I got back on the ball, I just let the move out. and if you was there that day, after I did the one-arm headbangers, I went home.
Yes.
So in that video, you see me put my hat on, I'm literally like, man, F out of here. Like that's what I'm saying in my head. And I just got in my car and went home.
Yeah. I always say this, and I have yet to have somebody tell me I'm wrong. Are you or are you not the scariest guy in the game? From the voice, your presence, I've heard about you, like people would talk about like a mixed martial arts fighter. Like dude's like, yo, this dude is. It was not even that. Like something out of a movie. They made you sound like you was 7 feet tall. It was like yo, his dreads drag behind him when he walks. Like, when I first saw you, right, was at MBXA. I think the second one. Right, and I came up. I showed up with my son, and I was looking for you, like, yo, where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? And by the moment I saw you was when somebody went off the bar and they dropped their change, and my son looked at the money, and you looked at the money, and you dove on the floor for it, right? So I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. So I was like, hold up, that's Beast right there, right? And I was like, I'm expecting this dude to stand there in the corner and be like, yo. Hell nah. and that's what I expected, and that's still your persona. So you have an intimidation factor about you, but it just adds to your legendary status.
Yeah, that came from, and it took me a while to actually learn how to deal with people because of my background. Like we all knew about the whole gang lifestyle that I had. I mean, we all knew that. So back then, before I even started traveling, going to other people's parks, I can't say it wasn't allowed, but in Brooklyn back then, you don't go in areas unless you knew people that was in that area, which I did because I was affiliated with a lot of people. It was just more of, once my boy Shadow, shout out to my brother Shadow, the one who gave me the name by accident. Once he convinced me to come to the terrace, and because I was like, I'm not going over there, like, because I know how Brownsville dudes give it up. So it was more about, like, I'm still stuck on street mode, not beast mode. So me going there, and then the first dude I meet was Animal, and he also, oh, this is my park. I'm already like, all right, I should just cut this dude. Because real stuff, like, this is the mentality that I had. I don't come there with those intentions, but whatever energy that you give off, I give back 10 times fold, because I'm like, if you step to me, I'm going to just demolish everything. So, and that's probably the reason why, like, when people see me, it was always like not a smile on my face, because I'm in unfamiliar territory, and you're not allowed to get caught slipping. But once I started meeting dudes in the calisthenic community, I'm already having open arms, because I don't feel that negative energy coming from. But because of the persona, because of the gang affiliations, and I did was trained in doing Muay Thai, so I did have those trainers. So people knew that, because we used to have street fights in Brooklyn. We used to do fighting in the streets, so they knew of that also. And I don't know, it was like, it took me a minute to get used to dealing with people, because I'm like, I always thought somebody tried to play me. Because I didn't, like, the same way y'all didn't know me, I didn't know y'all. I never come somewhere thinking, oh, these dudes are soft. Because you never know who the people be the quietest ones, be the most violent ones. So you got to be able to, fill the scenery out to see who's who and what's what.
So tell me this. I'm gonna call two people. JR and Juice. Yeah. I'm gonna just use them two as examples. Did you create them, or did they come to you with that demeanor that they have? Like,
I created both of those. I created both of them. JR was already physically, he already had the physique. He had the confidence also. He had the cockiness. I knew that he didn't have no core strength. So I seen him when he in the park. I'm over here doing my own thing. He'll go play ball, and then he'll come on the park, do his little 1-2 reps, you know what I mean? And then one day I just walked up to him. I tapped him on the stomach like, yo, your core weak. And I just walked off. That's all I said to him. I just tapped him like I see you, but you know what I mean? It's weak. I could tell. So he was like, what? Like, ooh. His ego kicked in immediately. Like, who the heck is this dude telling me? And he followed me around. Like, it wasn't even the same day. It was the next day I came there and he was there. Like, I could keep seeing him watching me from the side because he wanted to see my physique.
Right.
Back then, I always wore baggy clothes because you never wanted people to know what you had underneath your clothes. I had hoodies, big sweaters, and all that stuff because if somebody knew how big you was, they know how to come at you. Like, and again, that was back on that street mentality. So it was just one of those hot days, and I just happened to just come out my shirt, and then he seen the physique and the cuts on top of cuts. Cause that's when I used to be in the park like 7-8 hours a day, easy. And he seen it. He was like, yo, how you do that? I started teaching him isometrics, more core training and stuff like that, because doing core training is what I learned doing Muay Thai. So I added the stuff that I learned from that, plus what I was taught by Triple L and Big Kev, and applied that to my calisthenics. So now all my routine was more geared towards my fighting. That's why the moves were different, because stuff that I needed to pick people up and slam, I needed strong shoulders. I needed to be able to curl. Like, so all of my routine was geared towards making me stronger to do this right here, which was the fighting. Yeah. So now with Juice,
training for life.
Yeah. So with Juice, Juice came along. Armstrong brung Juice to me, and again, Juice already had the strength. He had the size. He didn't have the mentality of what he should have at his size, and it could have been more of a confidence thing. So it's basically like showing him my way of training, because people would give up in their head and you won't even know that they did it. They could be doing push-ups and in their head they're like, man, I'm about to just quit. So when they stop, they're like, I had enough. Nah, as soon as I see he about to give up, I step on his fingers. So immediately like it shocks you, like, yo, what? Like, I'm like, yo, hold it, like doing push-up. I make them stay in the up position. I'm like, hold, and they just be holding, kick him right in his ribs, boom, boom. And again, you like, what the? But you're not knowing that once I did that to him, whatever weakness he felt, reset it, because now you focus on something else. So it started teaching them to take whatever they think they feeling and apply it somewhere else and keep going. And they started, and it was like an unspoken trainer. I didn't tell them what I was doing, but they caught on.
Yeah, they understood. Because that's one of the things that I noticed, because after people started imitating what you did, especially when you check people in the stomach, kicks to the stomach and stuff like that.
Notice the moves.
Right.
It was always kicks, elbows. All that stuff. Yeah, that was all a part of that Muay Thai training. All I didn't have was the bamboo stick.
Oh, right. Now you really trying to hurt somebody. And at first, when I saw it, I just thought, okay, he's doing it just to strengthen that core. Then I was like, nah, he's testing them. He's doing it at a particular time. So if you could push through that, even when dudes would tell me legendary stories of how you would show up in the middle of a workout and they halfway done, especially at the stairs, the legendary stairs over at what's that? Von King.
Yeah.
And they say that we close to the top of the stairs, and he show up, we got to start from the bottom.
Yep.
And I was like, first I was like, what? I was like, nah, that wouldn't be me. I was like, no, that would be me, because what you gonna do? Leave? Now that makes you look weak. Other than that, you gotta push past. It was for a reason, and you build a different type of mentality in a person.
Yeah.
You can't quit.
When people fail to realize, you don't know how much strength and power you get just from being with your brothers. Even when you're tired, like, weakness is basically a mindset. Like, you can be dead tired, but if you're like, yo, we starting over, and you see all your brothers getting up and you going back, then it takes a lot off your chest. Like, you're not there alone. Because when you're tired and hurting, you feel that by yourself. But when you about to quit and you look to the left and the right and you see your brothers struggling with you, that we all we got. We gonna get through this together. If it take another 3-4 hours, when you finish that, you get to turn around and look down at them stairs and like, we did this. And that's what it all was about, saying how we did it. It wasn't about me because I'm Beast and the team is Beast Mode. Nah, it was about the entire group doing stuff together.
And you see that with all the team members, all of them. As you see them teach, you see them enforcing those same standards and mentality, and like, it didn't matter who it is. Like, I worked out with JR. It was like I was training with you. Yeah. And then when we had the battles, like when Juice and Soul was going at it, and I was like, yo, there's only one way to fix this. What time y'all gonna be in the park? And we showed up and we went through it, man. Those days, I miss those days, going head to head. Yeah. And it was a whole team thing. Everybody got involved in that. Yeah,
that's all. The love was there. That's what it was. Nobody cared about being number one. It was more about the competition and the sport. And that's the reason why, another reason why I used to do all them crazy routines, because I'm like, before you can even say, I want to battle Beast, you had to go through Stacks, Armstrong, Juice, and JR. Before you don't just come and talk about, I want to come see Beast. Nah. Even though I would never back down from the battle, but immediately one of them would be like, what? Who are you? Let me see something.
Yeah, you don't even have to say it. They'll jump out and tell you. Be like, no, you gotta go through me first. Like, I can't even battle him. So tell me, you, first of all, you built an army. How many people got the tap? How many people got the Beast tap? Everything is Beast Mode tap.
JR, me, Juice, Tone, Stacks got the words written. My brother Rock, Tross from overseas. You have a bunch of people who actually have the brand, who's not really affiliated with the team, but they believe in the statement. Okay. And the core focus of what it means. So it's a lot of people around the world who has the brand tattoo. Now, they all contacted me before getting it.
That was my next question.
They wanted their blessings from me. And not only did they get the blessings, I actually sent them the logo to get it done.
Right. See?
So it's hard for me to count and say how many people actually have it. Then I have my brothers from Jersey, my Jersey squad, Chino and Maury. I think he got his on his bicep. Chino got his on his chest. My brother Nick, he got the EIB on his rib cage. He got the EIB Army on his arm, and he got the Beast Mode tat on the other arm. So yeah.
I know it's a small army of them. Tell me this now. What would it take to impress you? Just say a dude shows up in the park. Yeah. Matter of fact, now, now
it's different. Back then, in order for somebody to impress me, you had to show me something I didn't do yet. That was it, because my mentality was like, man, it was hard. It was hard for people to impress me, because I'm saying, like, nah, that wasn't it. Because if you show me something and I can do it, I wasn't impressed by it. If I seen something and I already know how you did it, because calisthenics is illusion also. You could do a move and people think it was great, but somebody who actually knows about calisthenics, you can look at it like, all you did was this, and that. Like, nah, you
Right.
ain't fooling me.
Yeah.
It looked
Like,
good on camera.
Yeah, like that was more momentum than
Yeah.
strength.
Yeah. Me now, what impresses me is how you carry yourself after fatherhood. Because I used to tell people,
how many kids now?
I got 4. I got 2 boys, 2 girls. So it's different for me now because as you get older, you get more responsibility. So I don't have the time like I had back then to be in the park 7-8 hours. Not only do I have to run the company, I still have to contact all my people and make sure they're good. So, and then deal with kids in 2 different states. So it's a lot that I juggle on my plate. So when I see my brothers having kids, like I always call, like, yo, it's gonna change. It's gonna change, but to see them still to see them still go through it and putting out the content and being consistent, even with the newborns and the kids, that what impresses me.
Yeah,
more than anything.
I hear that because I was one of them dads from the start. Like I started off with my son right next to me throughout the whole thing, and we know that's challenging enough. When you got to go, when your son goes home and be like, "Where were you? I was in the park with Dad."
Yeah, you were lucky. You were lucky. My oldest was my daughter. I used to bring her in the park, but she wanted to grab on something, but then she want ice cream. She wanted to go over here. So I started seeing it like, okay, I can't choose calisthenics over my daughter. So, but then when my son was born, that was the first time I stepped back for real.
Okay. Yeah. You were left the game quite a few times. I think for maybe 2 years you were gone, like completely gone, like you wasn't doing anything.
Nope.
And then you still came back.
I was still teaching though.
Yeah,
I was always still teaching. I was always still teaching, not just and what I noticed that like once you start actually teaching, you putting your interest in somebody, you put more focus on training them, so you're not putting videos out yourself. Like my main concern wasn't to still be the man on top. Like I didn't see it no more. I started becoming uninspired because I didn't see anybody really like putting out the content that I wanted to see. Not saying anything was wrong with it. It was just more routines I started seeing that was bringing everybody together, but the creativity, like constantly coming up with new stuff. It was like if it wasn't either me, Zeph, or Doc, it wasn't that many people that were constantly trying to push out new material. Everybody else was just basically redoing old stuff.
Right.
Which wasn't nothing wrong with it. But like I said, like if y'all knew me for constantly coming out with the new move or the new stuff, the new this, it gets boring after a while. It was like the 5 heartbeats. It's lonely at the top, Flash.
It's true. And you know what? And whenever I talked to Tech, I brought up the bar commission.
Yeah.
And the bar commission, as far as I was concerned, that was the top of the top. It was Beastmode, Barbarians, Harlem Seals, and Calisthenics Kings.
Yeah.
Y'all were the most looked at people at the time. Y'all were the people that everybody looked at for the next best thing. So for y'all to come together was a powerhouse. Did that all start from the first time y'all met at NBXA?
Nah. That kind of started later on. Because once people started having like the rivalry with bartenders.
Yeah.
It was more to show that we can do everything together as a commission. Because at this time we started noticing like the brothers overseas. They started forming their own, chapters and stuff like that. So it was more trying to get ourselves organized before it was too late.
Right.
So the hand was extended to everybody, but the ones that formed the commission were the ones who was like, we can do it. Right. Once I started hearing stuff like, I can't work with this person, I'm just gonna completely ignore everything because we were trying to do something without no egos involved.
Yeah.
But you can't work with everybody.
Facts. And ego plays a major role back in the days, especially when YouTube came out And everybody's blowing up on YouTube, and who's the questions being asked, who's better than who, and did this person battle this person, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, it formed some form of separation, but at the same time, y'all was still shining.
Yeah.
You know, people, y'all still would have go to. Definitely would have go to.
Once I started seeing the way that the industry was going, because that's basically what it is. It's a business. I started noticing with the industry, how the industry was taking a turn, because it was no longer about teams. It was more about the individuals now. So you have to have some type of character with you in order to be successful. I chose to be the ultimate warrior. I looked at all the calisthenic dudes as wrestlers. And for real, that's how I looked at everybody. And I considered myself the ultimate warrior. He was crazy, strong. He did all this crazy stuff, but the fans still love Hulk Hogan.
Right.
They still love Hogan. Like, I see you, ultimate warrior. You had two belts, everything. You did it all. Right. Hulk Hogan is still the man.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan ain't never had people paint their face, so it was like one of those things.
It's true. So you mentioned the way you train, right? So let's talk about form, right? Because I know you were one person to always push different ranges of motion. So you would do short range of motion, and you would always emphasize that there was a purpose for every single one of those. So talk to me about the importance of the range of motion when you train.
All right, cool. Like I said before, boxing. I always say, let's talk about boxing. If you fighting somebody with a long reach, how are you supposed to attack this person? If your arms are shorter, you can't throw jabs, right?
Right.
So you have to get up under their arm to get close to the body. What's your options once you do that?
Short.
You have to strike quick and fast and hard. So if you're not used to punching in short ranges of motion, your punches will be ineffective. I don't care what person sees it and try to argue this down. Nah, it's a known fact. Right. If you hit somebody with a quick uppercut and there's power behind that, you laying them out. But if you spent your whole calisthenic life just doing full range of motion, you have no power within those first 6 inches.
Right.
You only have that snap at the end of your punch from the long range. Wow, that's where your power is at. It's the same with kicking. If you don't do those quick thrusts to the to whatever bag that you hitting, when you stand back from them, it's a whole different story. Like, you have to train everything. I used to be in the park in the terrace and lean up against. I used to lean up against go to my wall right here. I just lean up against the wall and just use my shoulder and push off. And people are like, what does that work? I'm like, do it. Immediately you start feeling right here. And I used to always laugh, because if I do something and somebody asks, what does it work out? I'm like, try it. And then when they don't do it, I'm like, it works out that. I always say it all the time, because being from the hood, most of us wasn't educated on what specific moves or muscles or what you call this group. I just knew I couldn't do it before. I could do it now. I'm stronger. Right. It was just simple. Right. It was like simple stuff. Like, I'm not no scientist. I'm like, all right, do 100 push-ups. I can't. I'm going to do 80. All right, we're going to keep training. Do 100 push-ups. I could do 100 now. You're stronger. Simple math. It's not rocket science. That's all it was. So to talk about the fighting styles, doing the shorties, the Chinese, the short range of motions, you need those. Yeah. I needed those because, like I said, at that time, you couldn't get caught slipping. You couldn't have weapons on you all the time. So what happens if we just happen to be downtown Brooklyn, somebody see me from some other stuff, you got to react quick. Like, I don't want no beat. Bang! You gotta react quick. Like, I was on it like that. That's why most of my routines was geared towards fighting. Plus, I was doing the street fights, like I said before. All of that worked for my training. It worked for my training. So when people wanted to learn from me because they seen I was stronger, okay, I can only show you what I know and what works for me.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's basically, so that's why it's always different type of training styles with different people that you meet. Like most people that's in the military, when you see them train, they do straight isometric holds and stuff like that. It's a reason for it, because they needed that training for when they overseas fighting the wars or whatever they doing. Everybody's training style is geared towards what they need it for. And mine's at that time was for fighting purposes. So all my routines is, how can I grab? How can, like, even just hanging off the bar, like strengthening the one arm and all that, everything. In case you in a brawl, one of my homeboys get knocked out, I got to be able to grab him, drag him with one arm, and still, you don't know what can happen until you're in that time frame. So I wanted to always be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. That's
why you always see me with Tim's on. Those are weapons.
So it's good you brought that up, right? So another thing you synonymous for is style. Your style. You gotta get. You was wearing the Tim's jeans. You had the polos. Endless polos. You would have the truck to match the outfit. You had the Hummer, the green Hummer when these shirts came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, this dude is a whole movie by himself.
Yeah. Because even before that, when I had the Audi, I had the Blood, Sweat, and Tears was dropping. Like everything was seasoned. It was a reason for it. So the Blood, Sweat, and Tears was basically giving your all. So at that time, everything was red, black, white, red, black, white. I had the Audi with the logo on it. Armstrong had his whip with the same logo. We all had the whips with the logo on it. Once I moved from New York, when I first went out and took my 2-year hiatus, when I returned to the game, that's when bear season dropped. The reason for bear season, I'm like, all right, we done survived the winter. Now we out of hibernation. It's bear season. Either you eat or starve. So that was my mentality going towards that season. And now that when I came back in the game, started training people again, doing little features here, videos there and there, I'm like, all right, let me build my army back up. That's like when I plan and do stuff, I do it wholeheartedly. I went and bought the Hummer. I was like, this is what it is. It's the army. Real results, mastering yourself. Because I notice a lot of people online, they constantly asking questions about, what do I do? What do I eat? How do I train? How do I get stronger? I can sit here and tell you everything.
Right.
But it all boils down to yourself, your training. That's what the army was all about. Real results, mastering yourself. Stop looking at my videos for validations for your strength.
And you
can be stronger than me if you do more than what I did. It's simple as that. Simple as that.
So today in New York, we got about a foot of snow almost. We got 2 inches of snow or something like that. You know what?
That's nothing.
For those who
I was
don't
in the
know,
snow,
right?
butt naked.
Right. For those who don't know, all of you making these videos now, jumping in the snow, going in the snow. This man did a video. Doc was with you, right?
It was Doc and Trump.
You went to Lincoln Terrace. Oh, okay. Yeah. And you put the glow sticks down, took your shirt off.
Now let me tell you about this fool story. So Doc called me. He's like, yo, it's going to be snowing. We should get some footage. I'm like, all right. Doc calls me around like 8 o'clock. I think it was probably like a foot of snow. I looked out the window. It ain't ready yet. He like, what? I'm like, I'll call you back when it's good. I called Doc up 2 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I had to be about 3 feet of snow. Buses are stuck. Taxis are stuck. Everybody, if you still on the street, you're stuck. You ain't going nowhere. He was like, yo, how am I gonna get to the park? I got you. I called Trump. I'm like, Trump, get in your truck, pick Doc up, meet me at the terrace. He's like, all right. I'm over here putting on my clothes, putting on my jacket, open the door. Like when I opened the door, it was literally 3 feet of snow. Wow. I had to literally shovel my way out my building to get to the terrace. And mind you, I only lived about, I would say about 4 or 5 blocks from the terrace because I was on St. John's and Ralph. I started jogging all the way there. Do you know how hard it is to jog
in
the
snow? Filling up your
I was
boots
looking
and all
like
that.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the snow. I need bushwhackers. I didn't see like the snow wasn't really pushed until I got to like, what was that, Buffalo, where you can see the snow cloud try to do some work. Yeah. That's when I found some low layers of snow. So I didn't know Dockenon was already in the park. So he was sitting there because they actually drove into the park. So they wasn't where the calisthenic area was. They was over there by where the handball coach was at, like in that little walkway. He had a truck right there. So I come jogging down like freaking madman, and I had my freaking glow stick. It was like a LED. It was like an LED stick that they use for like traffic or something like that. Right. In case somebody ain't see me, I'm like, I'm right
here. So you carried it just for safety. So you
that was my just in case thing. So I get to the park and I see Doc and he filming. I'm like, okay, yeah. Now I'm standing there, we talking, because there was a lot of footage left out. So we sitting there talking, and I'm like, freaking sweating. Because all that running out there
in the snow.
My body is heating up. So I'm like, even when I took my shirt off, my body was steaming. So I'm like, oh, like that Satan's blood. I was saying all kinds of crazy shit. I'm firing up. Yeah, and then I just grabbed the ball, and then it was just history after that.
That was history. Yeah. See, now that makes sense, because I was wondering, why is he already steaming?
From running from my building to the park.
I'm glad I asked that question, man, because that always made me. I was like, did he do like some jumping jacks before he started?
And then, like, to tell you the truth, I never thought the footage was going to come out, because to me, I ain't really do nothing. Like, you couldn't really do no moves. Like, the push-up bars was, I had to find the push-up ball.
Right.
The dip ball, like, you really couldn't dip because it was just like the snow was everywhere. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just roll over the bar. Like, whatever you seen there, I was doing that. We were cracking jokes as usual. Yeah. Yeah, and they're like, I'm gonna do the Beastmode snowman. We like the snow angel. You're like, what the heck is that? I'm like, why? Blue. Yeah.
But, oh man, that's crazy. All right, so a lot of people don't know this, right? But both of us, we got our teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Now, did you do it because, first of all, your music career, some iconic songs, right?
Yeah.
Still on my playlist. Beastmode, needless to say, that set the tone. That set the tone for that whole summer and summers to come. And then you backed it up with so many other hits, man. So did you just change it because you were being seen more, or
that's basically what it was? Because doing the music, I was always in the public eye,
right? And
it was more of a conscious thing. Then I'm like, I got the money to do it. What like, why am I'm bull crapping for? Like, just do it. Because what happened, like, the thing was, I didn't actually lose a tooth. Mm-hmm. Oh, my wife coming in trying to be nosy. Give me 1 second. Give me an apple.
It's on the other one.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, so what happened was, as a kid, I was riding a bike and I fell off a bike because somebody cut me off. So in the midst of me about to call the B word, I had my mouth open, I hit the floor, boom. So it actually cracked. It split my tooth on like an angle. And I guess the way it hit the ground, it killed the nerve. So what happened was, over the years, it was actually twisting, like it was trying to push the tooth out. So that's why as you started seeing it turn, and it started looking like the tooth was actually missing, but it wasn't. It was just cracked and it was actually turning. So I had to get that fixed.
Yeah. Hey, I was the same way, man. I looked at a picture one time, and I was like, hold up. Now this is looking crazy. I'm going to change mine. I'm going to be like Beast.
Yeah, before it didn't matter because you wasn't in the public eye.
Right. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I was getting calls to do photo shoots, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. So
and subconsciously, you're like, nah, I ain't gonna be doing.
I'll tell you, all it took was one picture, and I looked at it, I was like, okay, nah, I gotta fix this ASAP. Yeah. So, I'm forgetting something, man. You got me caught up in these moments right now. So, the battles, right? I mean, when you came back around, right? Everything, I know you would go to to Brooklyn, to Lincoln Terrace, to the Brawl Brawl. So, do you think the culture is going to shift more towards a battle versus like a big 100-person pull-up park jam style events?
Not really. You gotta remember, especially now, the people just want to be involved, no matter what it is. They just want to be involved in whatever. Cause you gotta remember, like when I was coming up, we ain't had none of this.
Right.
We ain't have none of this. So you can do it in the middle of the street to see who can run and not get hit by a car. Somebody gonna compete at it. Just to be like, yo, we did it, we survived it. Because without the calisthenic events, like what else is it? Yeah. What else are they doing?
They had to compete.
Yeah, like what else are you like? If you're gonna do the calisthenic events, if you don't want to do the calisthenic events, you're still gonna go. You're gonna want to see some type of action. Everybody is there for a specific reason. You might be just a kid that want to be there to be inspired to be the one competing one day.
Right.
You may be the one that's there, like to take notes so you can start your own competition. Everybody is there for a specific reason. You might want to be Don King of the event. It doesn't matter. You might want to sponsor the event. It doesn't matter. Everybody has their purpose. So if 5Ds do their event, they still gonna have a good turnout. If Bros do their event, still gonna have a good turnout. It could be the same two people battling on both platforms. The crowd is still coming because it's something that the community needs.
Yeah, we need to see this. We need to see this is what we do. This is what we do. If we're not around it, then what are you doing? You can't speak unless you're around it. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you could stand on the sidelines all you want, but if this is a community that's available to you. It ain't like they're charging admission most of the time. You just show up, take part in it, be a part of this culture, man. Because that's what it is. It's a culture. You never took any of these trips overseas. I know you've been offered.
What? Nah. I never had no interest in it. The reason why I had no interest in it, like I said, when I get certain vibes from certain situations, I just fall back. I know my value, and it's okay for me to say no. Another reason why is that I never really cared about the popularity of it. I was always in it for making people stronger.
Right.
Not really for making businesses money. Because that's all it was about.
Right.
Whatever they offering us, they made 10 times more of that. Because where we at, we got to scrabble up money to get investors to support our events. They countries supported their events. So it was a different mindset. Me from a business point, when they first contacted me, and they started talking about hotel fee, like, you can't offer me stuff I can pay for myself. So if you offer me free room and board, free plane rides and all this, I can do that myself. Like, what am I getting from it? Because you'll get to say, we had Beasts from America here that solidified our event. That costs you money. That costs you money. Because you can say, oh, these guys, they want 100 grand. Government gives you 100 grand. You give us 2,000.
Right. And that's what was happening. I know
that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's a business. I'm not mad at it.
Right.
I was telling my brothers, like, yo, I'm not going to tell you not to make your money, but I didn't need it. So that was the reason why I never went over there. It wasn't in my best interest.
I remember speaking to you about that a while back, and I was like, they not paying for just you. Now they're paying for Lord Vital, the artist.
Yeah, because they wanted me to perform.
Right.
They're talking about me doing songs. I'm like, that's 2 people you got to pay for.
Absolutely.
I want 2 hotel rooms. How many songs you want?
Right. You got to pay
I'm
per
like,
song.
$3,000. I can get that here. You bucket.
And it's true.
I might not come back. You know how much my liver worth over there? I watch Hostel. Like, this is Beast. He has good heart. We can use this. It's worth a lot of money over there.
It's true. I remember when the Bar Stars. Tell me if you remember this story, man. When Bar Stars first came out.
Yep.
The ball game went crazy. Who do these dudes think they are? Why do they call themselves Bar Stars? They not solidified and all of this stuff. And Ed told me that you contacted him.
Yeah.
And pretty much told him, you're a grown man. You do whatever you want to do.
Goddamn right.
and he was like, yo, that, to be honest with you, that gave me the utmost confidence to do everything that I did.
Yeah.
And like just hearing that story and hearing that it came from you.
Yeah.
You know, I know it meant a lot to him.
Yeah. The reason why, because you got to remember, you don't know what the next person goes through to try to get to where they at. What if I would have never told him that? There would have been no Bar Stars. Probably wouldn't have been nothing.
Right.
How many people did he affect worldwide? See what I'm getting at?
That's exactly it.
If I didn't step in and be like, yo, if this is your passion, who are they to tell you anything?
Yeah.
Look where he at now. Hey, yo, Ed, you owe me a crib.
He's in Northern Africa right now.
I know. I see the picture.
Yeah, so I already hit him up. I was like, yo, I need you on the podcast. He was like, as soon as I come back. So I was like, yo,
but
no
like
doubt.
that's just me in general. Like I always wanted to see everybody win. I always wanted to see everybody win. I never had no ego at all. Even when I come through, like, oh, Beastmode, like just it's my team. We all one team. Like we got so many enemies that won't even show face. I got no time to be worrying about t-shirt beef. Nah, man. T-shirt. Dudes is crazy.
It's true. And you said you never really took any payments for people you trained.
Nah. Because I didn't pay.
Right.
My teacher told me, you're only as strong as the ones you teach. I live to that to this day. I still preach that. Everybody that I influence, that influences other people, makes me strong. Simple as that. Right. I'm good where I'm at. I'm gravy trained. I don't need the money. I never really needed the money from calisthenics. I loved being in the game. Once it got about the money, I lost the love of it because I started seeing people doing shady stuff because it was no longer about the brotherhood. Now I gotta eat. So I'm like, so I won't get caught up in it. I step back. I no longer wanted to be the person on top. I never wanted to be the most famous one. I just wanted to meet people. What can I do to make you stronger? That's it. That's all. Still come around, shake hands, kiss babies. You know what I mean? That's it. Yeah.
Which one were you more passionate about? The music or the workout?
I would say the music. Because more goes into the creativity part of it.
I feel you.
Before you hear it. Like the reason why I do what I do, you can reach more people with the music. Because not everybody is into calisthenics. Everybody listens to music. Yeah. So it goes deep. Like, what if you met somebody that's crippled, who can't do calisthenics, can't work at all? How can I reach that person with a pull-up?
Right. The music, the sonics.
What advice could I give you just on life in general? What advice can I really give you doing pull-ups? You can't.
Right.
You got to know how to reach each person. Music helped me do that. I might see a situation and want to speak on
it. And your music was the sound for the culture.
Yeah.
It was the sound for the culture.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I didn't say that Nike didn't steal Beast Mode.
Of course. Of course.
They stole it and ran with it.
They supposed to, though. They're going to always take what they feel is profitable.
Right.
But what they fail to realize, my fans wouldn't buy it.
Right.
Even when Marshall Lynch came out and he coined the word beast mode, everybody was calling me like, "Yo, you ain't mad, you ain't gonna sue the dude." Like, for what?
Yeah.
My core fans are not buying his shirts or his sneakers or whatever stuff that he's trying to sell. They won't.
Right.
Because
it's almost
it comes directly from me. Now, it was a guy that was selling shirts of mine online. He was actually somebody I used to use to make my shirts. Once we split ways, he felt it was best in his interest to keep continuing to sell my shirts on eBay. One of the fans told me about it because they seen my shirts on eBay for half of the price I was selling them for.
Wow.
And he wouldn't buy it because he knew it didn't come from me. When he clicked on it, seen the name of the company, he was like, "Nah, that's not these." Even though the shirt was cheaper. And this is the same guy who was making my shirts that they were buying. It didn't come from me, so they would not buy it.
You can't buy that kind of loyalty right there.
Yeah.
You can't. That's how much. I mean, because I heard about that too, and I actually saw that and went and checked it out. And I started putting it on blast that, yo, don't go there, don't buy from there. If it ain't from Beast, you don't see EIB on it, don't bother doing it, because there was a lot of that going on too.
Yeah. And these are conversations I had with all my brothers. I even spoke to Hannibal about it when he came out with the cloaks.
The hood, the cloaks,
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you should patent the idea. If you patent the idea, you can sell the idea to other companies.
Right. And you can sue.
Because I already knew they were going to steal it.
Oh, of course.
I knew they were going to steal it. Once they figured out that it was available, they was going to take it, no matter what. Once I seen Under Armour with it, I'm like, that's it. They're going to do it. They're going to take everything from you.
Yeah.
Come on, you seen P90X? You seen those videos? How the typewriter be turned into the corn on the car. Corn on the car. How you eat corn? You eat corn like this, right? Why is that move called corn on the, you know what? That's
right.
Okay.
They made it seem like calisthenics was brand new.
Oh yeah. But
that's big money.
It was brand new. It was brand new to them.
Right.
As far as fitness, only person they knew was Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks and Jack LaLanne. That's it.
it was the dude like a pony. That dude.
Oh,
that was sweating into the oldies. That was they stuff. They didn't know nothing about this hardcore. Even when Rough Riders, when they dropped their DVD, they still didn't know because it wasn't on their radar.
True.
It wasn't on their radar. Because
we still referring to it as like jail.
Yeah, because of the names. It sounded negative in their eyes.
Right.
That's why I got so upset when they try to call calisthenics street workout. Like, nah, we're not doing that. I understand what you're doing, but nah, call it what it is. Just leave it at calisthenics. There's nothing wrong with calisthenics. But when you're trying to rebrand something for your own profit, you have to make it seem like this is ours, this is new. Nah, the street workout, that's why I created the song. I inspired people that live in places with no streets. Just dirt roads. So how you calling this street workout?
Yo, it's the truth. And I preach that a lot to people, that the fact that I've been in meetings with companies where they say, what do you call this? They said, we call it calisthenics. They said, no, we need a more marketable name. And immediately it made me, I said, okay, that's why they use street workout. Because it seems more marketable. And then that ghetto workout that they try to push, which I was on YouTube trying to shut everybody down that was using that. They were forced to keep it to street workout, which worked for them for marketable purposes.
Okay.
The reason why they did it because it's something they own. They own that phrase. They trademarked it.
Exactly.
So when they invited people to go overseas, you had to wear their street workout clothes.
Right.
As far as branding.
Mm-hmm.
So now people from their country could see, oh, the dude I idolize, he's wearing the street workout clothes.
Co-signing it.
So now they're gonna go buy it.
Right. Co-signing something that they took from us, basically.
They probably got street workout water, soda, bread. They got all kinds of stuff. I'm not mad at it. It's marketing. Oh, there and do that there, and that's where the separation started happening here because everybody was trying to coin calisthenics into their own.
Right.
Like you had Matrix. He wanted to coin it as the bar metrics.
Bar metrics, right.
That was one thing. Like how bartenders wanted it, like everything was drinks on the bar, all the moves was drinks. So everybody is coining it for their own benefits to say like this is ours. So it was no longer calisthenics anymore. Yeah.
You had to explain to people what calisthenics was.
Yeah.
And that's the oldest name in history. Like, why don't you call it what it is?
Because you can't copyright it.
Right.
That's why. It's a business move. I'm not mad at it, but don't get mad when I don't call it what you want to call it.
Yeah. So
simple as that.
So I remember when the Bar Stars had a competition on the east side, the park, when you walked into the park, and we stood over there, we had a conversation, and you were highly upset. You was like, what is this? You said everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the same set of moves.
Yeah, because you got to remember, it started, the reason why I started saying it was like gymnastics. Because if you notice, when you watch gymnasts do their routines, all of them pretty much do the same routine. Right. That's how you critique whose routine was better. They all got to do the triple flip loop. They all got to do the same routine to see who holds it better. They all have to do the same routines. Not mad at it, but there was no more creativity going towards it.
Right.
But this is where the game is moving towards. So do I hate the individuals doing it? No. I wasn't in the game no more to be trying to challenge it either. Because like I said, I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I didn't care no more. Right. I rated it and gave it up. So I'm like, if y'all mad, I'm mad. But if y'all ain't gonna do nothing, I'm going home. Like it didn't matter to me no more. I just always voice my opinion, and it ain't something I say behind backs. I said it to Ed, I said it to Giant, I said whoever's around, like I always voice my opinion. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
I know what's going on. This is the new wave. This is the way it's going. But don't forget this. That was the only thing I kept preaching. Don't forget the basics. Because what happened was everybody was doing the handstand, swinging around the bar, and now they're getting hurt. Injuries, torn ligaments. Why that happened?
Not strong. Ain't not strong.
Simple as that. Your muscles haven't went through the minor steps before you start putting it through the strenuous stuff. You just automatically threw it in 5th gear from pop, and you now you tearing your stuff up, man.
Yeah, I remember one day you and D300 came into the park, Yankee Stadium, to meet with No Question.
Oh yeah,
it was right after he lost in Long Island. Well, he came in 2nd place in Long Island, and he was trying to get on the squad.
Yeah,
because I reached out to him too, because I realized he was looking for another team after he left Bartenders. So I was like, yo, you in the Bronx, I'm in the Bronx. Brotherhood is always a home for you. And I was leaving the park and I saw y'all come over there, and then he was there. And I'll never forget, he was doing, I think D told him to do your favorite move, and he did his muscle up and must have hit his foot or something like that. And you said to do it 10 times.
Yeah.
And I was like,
a reason for it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't want my group on my team to be the Temptations of the bar community. even before that happened, when Soul left Extreme, he came, and I told him the same thing. I'm like, dude, I could train you. We can do everything together. I don't want to bring you here. I would rather you start your own team. I'd rather you start your own team. He started Blackout.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on the stairs with us and everything.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because I started understanding. It started getting political. The ball community started getting real political. Oh, he left the team, now he with Beast. Nah, everybody's with Beast. What are you talking about?
Everybody got some lessons. For sure.
Yeah, and it wasn't about them joining me. No, you can still be a beast and not be a part of EIB. Right. You a beast in your own mind, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You see when you that Let it out.
When I say that, every time I see it, it always brings me back to you. And I see somebody else do a version of it. I'm like, I know where you got that from.
Yeah. You ever seen a fast car with a quiet muffler?
No. Not ever.
Yeah. That's why. That's why. Yeah.
We good. We going for a whole hour here. The Raise Up movie, remember that?
Of course.
We were on the panel together for that.
Now that you said, watch this. Don't go nowhere. Hold up. Watch this.
We might be in for a treat, y'all. I'm scared. We were both on that panel for the Raise Up movie. Shout out to Rain Bennett.
Let me see.
Oh,
this movie.
Shirt. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that movie. I remember that movie.
I got that one.
I got some flavors.
People don't understand this was what's happening here, man. When you used to get shirts from teams, that means that you solidified.
I got every last one. This is my brother Rock Tross.
Okay.
Overseas.
Oh, I remember those.
Matter of fact, hold on. I don't get rid of nothing, brother.
Yo, trust me, I got a collection just like that.
You see this?
Woo! That's a classic right there. That's classic. That's a rare breed right there. I don't think he make those no more.
I bet you Doc ain't even got this no more.
Wow. That's
we could go over hours.
That's just the logo for the brand now. I don't think you pressing those no more.
Yeah.
Engage.
Who
we got?
I got me a white cloak.
We got the Hannibal cloak.
Yeah, like I support my brothers.
Oh, see, of course, man. See, that's that. I think you might have a bigger collection in red. Oh, the Boss Stars. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
How about this?
Ooh, that's another classic right there, man. Damn.
Now, I got that shirt when they came from Canada to visit.
Yeah.
Me and Juice at the Terrace.
Right.
I got red, a Highlander shirt in there. So yeah, man.
Yo,
I love my brothers. I love my team. And then you can see, like, I keep all that stuff.
Right.
I don't wash cars with none of y'all stuff. Dudes be disrespectful. I done seen dudes walk on these shirts like that.
Oh yeah, light them on fire too. I done seen somebody light them on fire. Yo, so when is the Beast documentary coming out, man?
Oh, it's coming.
Because I know I've been talking to JR about it. The name what? What's the name?
Everything is Beastmode.
Oh, of course.
I could go on and on. The fool has never been told. Oh boy.
I've been talking to JR about that for like 2 years now, man. He told me he even sent me a clip of some of the collection of some of the stuff that he started
Oh
with.
yeah. You have and then what I'm thinking about, because it's like, how do I want to present it? Because everything is beast mode shouldn't be about me.
Right.
That's the reason why I think I never did before. I think if I do this documentary, it's gonna be more other people talking about my influences, or that's basically what I want to show. Like when I leave, what do I want to leave here? What do I want to say? I don't want to say anything. I want them to say it, because a lot of people will go on your posts and be like, "Yo, you changed my life. You did this." I want to be able to see that. I want my kids to be able to see that and know that their father changed the world.
I hear that.
The way to do it is have the people I influence and I change, have them voice their opinions, negative or positive.
A lot of people.
I want everything.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
The jokes, like you would hear a bunch of stories that from people that you would never believe. People that's probably not even team members, but conversations that we had, and how I save people off of ledges and stuff like that, like just from a conversation. Because when people see me, I don't want them to think calisthenics. I don't want them to think that it has to be about pull-ups or I can't speak the beats. That's why everybody that when they get around me, even every time I come to New York and I hit Zephyr, like, what we going to eat? Like, I don't want to talk about pull-ups. I call Doc, what are we going to eat? I don't want to talk about nothing else.
Right.
Let's eat.
Yeah, that's what we usually see. When you usually come in town, the pictures that we see is when y'all went out to eat. Yeah. Or hung out, you know?
Yeah, we could work out all day. We could do that. We know we got it in the bag. We know that, but as men, as brothers, we call each other brothers all the time, but don't do any brotherly activities. I don't want to be reminiscing on people when they're gone. I want to keep making new memories and new moments. That's my thing. That's why I'm always reaching out, like, yo, what y'all doing? I be spontaneous. I might, like the last event, the bar bros, nobody knew I was in New York. Armstrong didn't even know. Now he calling me, I'm on the highway driving, and he didn't know I was on the way.
Wow.
I just popped up like, oh, they got a competition? Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna swing on by. Yeah.
It's true too. Because I was in the house, I had so much to do that day that Mike called me. He was like, yo, Beast is here. I was like, don't tell me that, man.
You thought it was gonna be a regular Saturday.
Like the one time I make it, he showed up.
Yeah.
And you chill for a couple of days. That's why you would Rip Right.
Oh yeah.
Rip Right for a while too.
That's my little bro right there.
Yo, bro, your influence on this game, just on this culture, period, and just in everybody that you touch, man, has been amazingly inspirational. Lord knows I mention your name every time I do something. It was like, yo, that was hot. I was like, that's beast mode.
Yeah.
That Underworld.
I seen the video you did when you were doing the Underworlds, when you were doing coming from here over. I'm like, I literally forgot about that move. And since I showed it to you, you've been doing it since. I'm like, whoa, boy. Make me want to get in there and see if the God's going to bless me. Man, to pull one out the hat.
You know the crazy part about that?
Yeah.
I never showed anybody that until one time we was in the terrace with you. And we were trying to do it from a neutral grip. So we were trying to do it from here and then go up. Right?
Yeah.
Like I was messing it up, but I showed you that. I was like, yo, I got that. But I did it with the one hand catch. Because I remember what you said. You ain't care if you don't care if I do it the same way you did it. I gotta step it up. So but everybody see me doing it the regular way, but I could catch it cross grip, single arm, all of that. Because I was like, yo, when they see it, like, yo, that's fire. I was like, that's beast mode.
Yeah,
that's beast mode. I got that from Beast.
And I always and I was always big on sharing. I just get highly upset when no credit is due.
Right.
Like even like with the year that Tech won the competition, it was one of my moves that he used to do it, and he called me. He didn't have to. He could just did it because he's my brother. But he's like, hey, yo, Beast, man, I'm about to move. Like, one move. I'm like, yeah. because he respect how I respect my teacher. And people, like, he knows the story. Like, you take that from me, I can't give it back to him. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what move he actually did. But it must have been amazing.
Yeah, because it got him to win. It got him to W.
I was like, Don King, we won. We won. I ain't had nothing to do with the trainer, him doing it, but we won. We did it.
Yeah, man. But he's a guy that came from a different era, man. He came from that era when we were all individuals. We showed up on that ball. We had our own different styles. So if you use somebody else's style, you don't think that other person don't see that. So you make sure you get that cosign. Like, I'm about to destroy your move.
Don't get me wrong. It's different when like we all together and I see somebody like Juice, or you do a move. Of course I'm trying to be there, but you're gonna be there to see me do it so you can critique it. Like, nah, do this. I wouldn't watch you do a move and then do a video doing your move later on without paying no homage. Like, yo, shout out to Q. That's because anybody who follows me, I don't want them to give me props for something that I didn't contribute to.
Right.
That's the only thing. It wasn't about, oh, they stole my move, they got to get beat up. Nah, it was past that. It's a respect level. Like, you know where you got it from. You have fans. Your fans don't follow me. Yeah. Yeah. We all know that. Your fans don't follow me. It's like different training style. People look for who they can see themselves in. Yeah. So people that follow you might not follow me. So if I took something from you and I'm doing a move and now they praising me, oh, you seen Beast do this, and then they see you do it, oh, you stole that from Beast. You're like, what? Right. And that was happening a lot. You're gonna be mad, even though this is a brotherly culture. In the back of your head, like, yo, this, like, how they gonna say I took it from him? Like, nah, he got it from. So to kill all the commotion, just pay some respect. That's all. Yeah, that's all I have. Yeah, that's just a little bit. You can still be the greatest ever. They still gonna love you. Just say, shout out to such and such. Right. Simple as that, man. And that's just pushing the community along, man. Because we ain't doing this by ourselves. We ain't doing this by ourselves. Everybody's in this for the same end goal. Yeah. You know? Yeah, so, man. I had some questions from I put up in the post. It was like, what questions do you have for Beast, right? Most of them were simple questions like, how do you get your back bigger? Stuff like that. We ain't even gonna touch on that. That's too general. That's too general of a question. I respect the question too, because the person that asked is an 11-year-old kid. Right? So he's like a fan of the culture. So I respect the question. But the question we're gonna leave everybody with is, and matter of fact, I know the answer to it, and it's a key one, and it works every single time. How do you get your muscle ups? A routine, you already know. A routine that you could bless everybody with to get the muscle ups better. If you don't have it, just run that to them. All right, cool. Let me see. Cool. I was gonna take you to the backyard. I got my pull-up ball, but that ain't gonna work. It's dark as hell back there. So doing a muscle up is a reverse clean and snatch. Anybody who know weights know what a clean and snatch is. A muscle up is the exact reverse of that. Now do it in reverse. Boom, boom. You see it? Ain't it the same thing? Yeah. So you already know it's 3 different movements you need to perform muscle up. One is the initial pull up, which is the pull down. So you got to have enough force to snatch your body above the bar. The more power you have in your pull, the easier it becomes for the snatch, because that's all it is. Not everybody know how to do false grip muscle ups. False grip muscle ups is a whole different monster. I'm not even going to attempt to tell you how to do that because I don't know how to do it yet. So the more power you got in your pull coming up, I'm going to show you how to do a brute strength. The more power you got here, the less power you need to do here. Now, once you snatch it, you just lean forward, and after that, it's just a dip. That's all it is. 3 motions. So what I used to tell people is a 30, 40, 50 rule. 30 close grip pull-ups. Now, when you're doing muscle ups, you're not going to try to go for a muscle up close grip. You're not going to, because that's the longest range of motion to do a muscle up that way. That's why I'm going to tell you to train to do it that way, because it's the hardest muscle.
Right.
Most of the time, people already have the strength to do a muscle up. They just don't know how to do a muscle up. Mm-hmm. So I tell people to do 30 pull-ups, close grip, all the way up, all the way down. Next will be, what are you doing? Boys going to bed. It's routine. They got to get their hugs and kisses. That's like blessings.
That's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing.
That's my focus right there. That's harder. That's harder than doing muscle ups, is having your kids respect.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. They can see me get knocked out right now. They be like, you should have gripped that. That's all that matters. But anyway, so the second routine will be the snatch, which is tricep extension. You see me go to the push-up bars, and you just see me grab the ball, close grip again, elbows to the ground, step all the way back until your knees is off the ground, and then you start knocking them out. You got to do 40 of those. Next will be dips. Now, the dips can be tricky because when you go to the dip bars are 2 parallel bars, which you have to do dips there. But the main dip you need to do is on 1 bar, because when you do the muscle up, that's the position you're going to be in. Now, you get on the ball, you start doing regular dips, and then you do a muscle up, you get up there. If you turn your wrist, it's a whole different muscle. Mm-hmm. So if you're used to doing straight bar dips, doesn't mean that when you get on parallel dips, you're going to have the same or the same effect. It's a whole different muscle. Anytime you twist anything, turn anything, it changes the muscle you're actually working out on. Right. So I would tell you to do straight bar dips. Once you get those down, you can put those in routines. I usually tell people to do 3 sets of each. If you can go to the terrace have 3 bars at 3 different heights. This is where your legs come into play. I have people do 3 sets of 10s on jumping muscle ups. You got to get your ego out the way, because your body gonna tell you not to jump, because you're gonna feel you're gonna look like a punk. Throw that out the window, because like I said, you might have the strength to do the muscle up, you just don't know how. So actually grabbing the ball, I think the ball comes like eye length. Use your leg, you jump. Bring the ball to your stomach, do the muscle up. Soon as your foot touches the floor, right back up, jump, muscle up. So now what you're doing, you're actually training your body the movement of a muscle up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is not worrying about the strength of doing the muscle up. This is only building up the muscle memory of the pull, snatch, push, pull, snatch, pull. That's all you're doing. 3 sets of 10s. Once you start getting that and you feel it's getting too easy, then you go to a higher bar, which now you actually hit, which means that you got to do either more jumping or more pulling,
right,
to get over that bar.
Right.
Once you do that, and you're gonna notice it. Once you get over there, you got to and you got to really pull. Once that becomes easy, now you're ready for a dead hang. Mm. Once you're dead hanging, then that snap should be there, because you should be doing those 30, 40, 50.
Right.
So once you get the strength to do a muscle up, now you have to learn how to do a muscle up. So by doing those jumping muscle ups, that actually teaches you the move, because you would know when to pull, when to snap, when to push. It would teach you all of that. Now, I don't care how strong you are. If you go straight up, that's not a muscle up. Mm. It's not a muscle up. It's a great move. Don't get me wrong. But the whole thing with the muscle up is actually getting that dip in it. You want to feel all of that. Because I done seen some people that's so strong, they could just go straight up.
And pull away.
Yeah.
Pull away from the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good, but you want to get those, you want to get every rep in there. You want to get every rep in there. Yeah.
Make it a workout.
Exactly.
You know, working out more muscles than just your pull muscles.
Yeah, because if you could just keep doing muscle up, you're just doing this, then you need to add weight vest. Because it's becoming too easy. Then it becomes like, what are you really into it for? Are you really into it for Instagram likes, or are you really trying to get strong? Because if anything get too easy for you, put a vest on.
Right.
Because you just bull crap in the world. It looks good, but you get the views, but all you really getting strong. That was always my thing. I was never in it for the 60-second assassin videos that I've been seeing. You remember, I'm from that 5-minute era.
That's right.
You had to do a whole routine on the ball.
With the
5
vest
minutes.
on. With the vest on.
Yeah.
You were a big advocate
Doc,
for the
tell
vest.
you, like, when we did the torture chamber is actually the beast mode requirements frontwards and backwards with the 40-pound vest on. You do that. And why we was doing that? Because the beast mode requirement became so easy that you have to increase it.
Right.
Like we was running through them things. Yeah. Yes, sir.
That was the most descriptive. And you know the funny thing too, you've been telling everybody that same routine. I've heard this routine in person. I've heard other people tell me that you gave it to them and use it, and everybody that has ever applied it has muscle ups. So for everybody that's listening, before you question it, try it. If you're trying to get there, before you question it, try it. Write it down.
Jump. It's okay
word for word.
to jump. It's okay to jump.
Yeah. Q, can I jump in for a second?
For sure.
Of course, brother.
Look, man, this is nothing but amazing, and this is both of y'all just having y'all two legends in here talk like this. I'm blessed, and I'm kind of spoiled to have Q all the time, but to have the Beast on here talking, it's insane. Before we let you go, can you please tell us how to do the elevator? I may not speak to you for the next 7 months. I don't know when I'm gonna get this chance. How I'm telling you, I done tried it, almost lost teeth. I need you to teach me how to say it. Teach us how to do
in
it.
the Beast Mode song, I said, scared, I delete fear from my database. That's the reason why you didn't get it. Because you thinking about failing. That's the only reason why you ain't get it. Because let's be real. I'm gonna break it down to you right now. In that park that I did the elevators on, it looked amazing on video, right? How long do you think your arms are? Let's be real. Let's just talk science. How long do you think your arms are?
About 4 feet, if that. Less than 4 feet.
Imagine you at your full height doing the muscle up, right? And you just lift one hand up. We're not talking about momentum also. You already there.
Right.
You just need eye-hand coordination. That's all it is. But what people get tricked up is because at that specific park, it's like 4 inches behind you.
Behind you, yeah. Yeah.
So you got to be able to muscle up, lean back, and catch it. Like once you let go, you got to, it's like life. You got to just let go sometimes.
And commit.
And commit to it. Don't think about falling, because most of the time when you think about falling and failing, that's exactly what you're doing. And you already mentally gave up. So when you go to reach for it and you miss it, you can be like, well, I knew I was going to get it anyway. You set yourself up for failure. The elevator is more than a move.
Right.
Is the way you think about everything. Just let go. You're already building up momentum to go to the next level. You already building up momentum to go to the next level. Just let go and reach for it. I guarantee you're gonna grab it.
Bro, that's about the best description, and that's actually exactly what I did when I did in the same park. After I saw your video, I sat there and watched it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right. And I got on the bar and I pulled up and looked, and I was like, okay. And I reached one hand up, and I was like, oh no, this is doable. and the second time I went up, I grabbed it. And I was like, oh, it's dirty up here.
What about the video footage that Doc put up on Instagram one year when you came back to New York and you was at Jackie Robinson Park?
Oh yeah, with my son.
First of all, no. You had a stroller next to you.
That was my son, my youngest son.
Yep.
Please, no. I don't think people understand. He put his stroller to the side and said, let me see if I said, nah, there's no way what is this man going to do? When he did the elevator at Jackie Robinson Park, if y'all know the hood, when you in Jackie Robinson Park, it looked a certain way. And it looked pretty high. I said, I don't know if he going to.
Oh, yeah, that bar was higher.
Yeah, it's high at Jackie Rock.
I lost my mind. That's why I said, all right,
It's the same. It's the same mechanic. See, I'm gonna tell you one thing about like when you set your mind to it. I already know I'm catching that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that when you know certain things when you look at it.
Right.
You know,
right.
It's like a boxer. You could go in the ring like, I'm gonna knock this dude out. You have to talk it into existence. And it was like that with all my videos. I walk the parks like, I'm gonna do a handstand. Now I gotta do it because I done told myself it's gonna happen.
See, and that's why,
all it is.
That's why I said you would use the shutdown king, because you used to walk into the park with no intention, just decide to outdo everybody.
Yeah, and I love the game for that. Like to this day, who I would say that get me amped? I would say Zeph used to always keep me on my toes also, because he always coming out with some new shit. Pause. Doc is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like people I know that if I'm in the park with, I gotta have the rabbit in the hat.
Right.
You got to even now with me being out the game. If I'm around, it's no, damn, you ain't been around a minute. I got something in the stash just in case.
I know it.
Because even with me gaining weight, with me being out of shape, I don't care about none of that. It's something about being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about, like, for instance, it was a time I came to the park, right? And I forgot the brother name, but y'all know him and his son always in the park. He always showcasing his son off. He be doing karate, working out, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know his name.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, devoted to my son.
So he comes to me and tells me that he wants my son and me to work out. I'm like, cool. But then he said something as if like his son was gonna show me off of them. Like, I need to be prepared. That sent me off. He said, and he like, I'm like, he like, yeah, but we gonna do 100. Like, me,
right,
we gonna do 100, and you just kid, like, I completely lost it. Dude, all I remember me grabbing the ball. I don't even know how many push-ups I did. I think for every one he did, I did about 5 or 6. I was like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? Like, all kind of stuff. I'm like, don't, like, it's something about being pushed.
Right.
And you gotta remember, you talking about somebody that would sit here and say somebody playing me, and then I'll just get strength from nowhere.
Right.
But no until like I'll be coming to the park just to chill. Somebody do something like, oh, he trying to throw a shot. Okay, he trying to play me.
Yeah, I remember one time we was at Wing for the contest that Doc had, right? And I think it was the one where you had to wear the vest first, and you had to take the vest off and do the pull-ups. And it was a contest, and you competed in it, right? And I think you were in the same weight class that I was. And I wound up winning like first or second place. I forgot what it was. And somebody came up to me and was like, yo, you beat Beast. I was like, don't you dare let him say that. Don't you dare let him hear you say that. Because this man will turn on another.
Like, let's do it again.
I was like, he did this contest on a humble. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was one of them times when you were away and then you just came back and you was just there. He was like, I'm gonna just jump in. And we was like, yo, that's dope. Beast is gonna compete and this and that. And he was like, yo, you beat Beast. I was like, yo, shut up. I'm looking around like, is he here? I was like, I just see this man.
They did that at 5Bs. Now, mind you, I was doing plank holds and all kind of stuff, doing tricep extensions on the bar. And I think it was the first time that they did the muscle up competition at 5Bs.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to go first. I'm like, all right. I'm like, let me go. I think I did about either 24 or 25. One of the two, I know they counted.
Mm-hmm.
But once it was done, they tried to say Abs beat me because Abs did, I think, 23 or 24 until the next day when Form looked at the tape like, yo, you actually won.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I won. What the hell are you talking about? I'm like, even if I didn't win, I won. This dude like $120. I'm 215. How we doing the same number?
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's what both people don't realize. You was 200 for most of the time that they saw you.
Yeah, and then the dude had the nerve to see me the next day and talk about he beat me. I was like, oh, you wild.
Oh, yo, before we go, man, I have to touch on this story that Red told me, man, on Friday about when you call and was like, yo, I'm coming to the park. Yo, I told him, I said, look, I'm just saying something to you. He was like, yo, I was scared. I said, let me tell you something, Red. I would have been scared too. I said, you ain't have no shame of being scared because you know what that man energy was like. You know what I'm saying? He's coming on a humble to meet you, but you know, yo.
But if you notice, like what he said, when I said, what up, fool? Like,
right. When
I call people fool, that's my brother.
Right.
I never met him before.
Yeah.
But that's just how I talk. Like, what up, fool? Like oh, okay. That's just me because, like, if somebody tells the world that they was inspired by me, how can I not reach out to that person?
Right.
How can I not? Like, what? Like, I was never used to the fame from calisthenics. Like, I didn't see it like everybody else did. Like, even when they're like, oh, you a legend, I'm like, y'all bugging out. Like, I'm vital. Like, immediately, once I meet people, I give you my number because I don't want people to look at me as some type of celebrity.
Yeah.
Not in calisthenics. That's why I feel if I ever gave you my number, it kills all of that, you know, that putting me here. Like, nah, like, call my number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we here now.
Right.
And that's why I do it. Like, if you could ever break out your shell to contact me for anything, you'll see I'm one of the coolest people in the world.
And it's funny too, the amount of people that told me that they talked to you, right? And I was like, yo, I talked to him. I was like, would you talk to him on Instagram? They said, nah, I talked to him on the phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo,
dude, now,
a lot of people
would hit me on Instagram, Facebook. Oh, Beastmode, I'm a big fan of yours. And they ask for advice, workout tips. I call their ass.
Yeah.
Do messenger. Yep. Like, what up? Here, take my number down. Call me. Right. They be like, you really calling me? I'm like, yeah. Take my number. Then whatever I teach them or whatever I show them, I'm like, yo, hit me back and let me know what your update is.
Exactly. Accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability, because you want to see them do better.
Yeah.
Yo. But
just the fact that I'm out the game and they still have enough respect for me to consider me, to ask me for any advice. Like, who am I to give you advice? That means I have to be some kind of person. Right. So if you can reach out to me, why can't do the same?
Yeah, bro. I can't figure out it. Yo, it's been an honor, an absolute honor, a pleasure, man. Like always, brother. Like always. Yeah. There's never been a moment that we talked that I didn't walk away with gems, major keys every single time, man. And you continuing to do so, man. I appreciate you to the fullest, to the absolute fullest, man. So, in closing, is there anything you got for everybody? Anything else? Any parting words for the public?
Let me see if I can come up with one. Also say Confucius.
No, wait. One quick one. How many different names did you go by? You were Beowulf.
Oh, yeah. When you came out with Beowulf. Beowulf was a theme. Now I mean, like the god amongst men.
Ooh, that was hard. That one was hard.
Then I was Lord of the Rings because I had the Audi. Yeah, so I had a lot of names, but yeah, always was vital. That's it.
Right.
And my parting words is also say Confucius. Men who do muscle ups look down on garbage cans. Put that on the t-shirt.
I'm done with you, man. I knew it was gonna be something funny, man. I'm gonna laugh about that for the next 2 weeks.
That's gonna be my new t-shirt. I just freestyled that one.
It's a wrap. I'm copyrighting that one. It's a wrap. I'm keeping that.
Oh, man who do muscle up, look down on
garbage cans. Woo! Yo, oh, I'm done. Bro, my man. Yo, thank you again. Thank you again. Shout out to my boy behind the scenes, John McLeod, making this thing look good.
Yeah.
Yo, Beast. Always a pleasure, always an honor, man.
Yeah, and tell John to read the manual next time.
See, that's a
you gonna do that?
Inside joke.
Or you gonna say that? You gonna make me say that? You gonna make? Hold on.
Always teaching. Always teaching.
Hold on, man. Don't do me like that. Come on, man. Like I'm out here doing my. All right. So the word on the street was that I was having a little bit of trouble with the broadcast, and Beast not having a clue what was happening. Came and told me, "Look, this is what you got to do," and he never saw the system before in his life. Man. Look, man. Look, I'm gonna jump on here because I'm a man of my word. I said I was gonna jump on here out of respect for the legends. Yeah. He taught me something he didn't even know nothing about it.
Right. All I know is we got on the call and Beast was like, "I'm still teaching, Q."
And here am I talking about, look, man, I'm about to show him that I'm Beastmode on this. And I'm like, boy, sit down.
Allergy,
everything. Oh man.
Bro, man. This has been an honor, man. This is exactly what I thought. I'm gonna go stretch because I think I broke a rib laughing.
You gotta laugh, man. We old as hell.
Yeah.
A lot of good people ain't make it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. God bless the dead. Yo, COVID slowed us down, but we still connected. Still connecting. We gonna be
on some real that ball builds herd immunity.
Yeah. They don't talk about that enough.
You get sick staying apart, tell you the truth. Because you don't build up immunity from each other. That's what they're not going to tell you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They ain't going to tell you you're going to get sick in the house with the windows closed.
Yeah.
You can go outside, get some fresh air.
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast. Yeah. So
we're gonna do the health podcast and we're gonna do the all music podcast, man.
Facts though.
Yeah. Big bro, always a pleasure, man. Love to your family.
Yes, sir.
Love to the kids, man. Stay up and I see you when I see you.
All right, and let me finish this Dolomite movie.
Oh,
all right, man.
Yo, this has been the CCA podcast. That is the man, Lord Vital, Beowulf himself. Yeah. We are signing off. My boy John McLeod. You already know what it is. For the culture, by the culture. Community over everything.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Signing off.